Hey everyone, welcome to the Hard Hat Conversation YouTube channel. So this is where we take off our helmets and start having real conversation about our industry. Today I want to talk about how to join construction industry as a young professional. One of the main reason I want to touch about the construction job today is we have so many young professionals who are graduating and ready to join the industry and also we have so many talented people all over the world who are interested in pursuing careers in construction. Before it's too late, let's get into it. As some of you already know, there are many types of job within construction industry. I'm going to give you a high level summary of type of jobs, and there are mainly two types of the jobs in our industry. One is project management, which is the white collar jobs. Other one is the join the trades, labor, skilled worker, carpenters, electrician, and which is the blue collar job, right? All right. So let's talk about the project management roles. There are many positions within the project management, such as a project engineer, project manager, estimator, quality controller, scheduler, and project manager, etc. Most of them requires a degree, but if you want to start in the field and move to the management side, the best option will be project engineer or field engineer. In order to join the management, you will need a civil engineering or construction management degree, which will get you a job as a project engineer. So, let me give you a little bit of project engineer roles and responsibilities and the day to day activities. So, this will be beneficial for young personnel who is just graduating from the college and getting his civil engineering degree. So as soon as you get a project engineer or field engineer job, so you will be just getting familiar with the projects or just stepping into the construction industry. So you will have so many things to learn from the field and in real project as compared to your educational background. So as an example, so when I graduated, I studied so much. I have a civil engineering degree and I have a master's in construction management. And I was struggling, how can I apply all of that knowledge into the real world construction? So going back to the project engineer, so majority of the times the project engineer will be doing the document control, so writing RFIs, which is request for information, and putting together a package for the submittals, and also coordinating with the foremans and the superintendent and the project manager. So this is your first step in your construction industry career or construction career. So this is where you will get exposed to so many items in the field and so many items in the project management side, which is the office and document control or whatnot. So this is the perfect side, and once you get into the project management side and you get to choose whether you want to go into the field management side or the office management side, right? So the office management is pretty much you become a PE and then you become a project manager and then you become a senior project manager, project executive, and then you become an operation manager, and then depending on the company, you become division manager, regional manager, and then overall, ultimately hitting that top line CEO. And on the field side, so you will be starting as assistant superintendent and then become superintendent. Then you become ops manager, which is the operational manager, and then you will go to the next level, which is the division manager or whatnot, right? So majority of the times, anyone with the educational background would like to go towards the office management side, so that will give them more exposure or more growth in their career, looking at the long term. So if you like the field, want to keep yourself active, and if you like boots in the ground, and if you want to get yourself dirty, I would definitely recommend going into the field side. All right, so that's all about the project management side. Now let's talk about the trade and which is the blue collar side, right? So this is where we will have all the people, all the craft putting the work in place. And this is the actual field, and this is where we see the production. This is where we see the safety requirement. This is where we see the quality, and this is where we see the schedule delay. So this trade drives the entire construction. So all we can do the project management. We can call, communicate, coordinate, collaborate. Ultimately, the trade, our field team is driving the entire construction. Trade works slightly different. Here you will have many options or unions to join, such as carpenter, labor union, electrical, plumber, etc. So every construction industry, every trade has its own union, and some of them are combined together. In order to join the union, most of the union has a basic requirements such as you have to be at least 18 years old, physically able to perform construction tasks, valid driver's license, legal work status in the US. And then the first thing you will do is you will go to, so there's multiple ways to join union. One, you can go to the union, and the other one is you can actually go to the construction job sites and you can ask for a job. So once you get a job, so eventually what you will do is you'll coordinate with the people that are in charge of you and ask for a apprentice sponsorship. So with that sponsorship, you should be able to join the specific union that you're interested in. So once you get sponsored from the company, so you will have about 4 years of apprenticeship program. So in that one, so you will start low, you will be performing light activities when you're apprentice 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So once you gain enough experience, you will journey out. So once you journey out, you will start training the new apprentices, and that will be end of your apprentice program. So every union is different. Every union has its own apprentice program. So eventually, at least about like 3 to 4 years, depending on the trades, you will graduate the apprentice program. That's when you will become journeyman, right? So that's when you will start getting paid about $70 to $80 per hour. So in order to join, like I said before, there is two options. One, you can reach out to the union or whichever the union that you are trying to join, and the second one, you can go to any of the construction job site, talk to the project superintendent, tell them I'm looking for a job, I'm interested in this specific trade. And if you already have a friend that works in the construction industry, you can also reach out to him. Hey, how can I join? There is so many programs in the construction that can support you in many ways. Doesn't matter if you live in a certain neighborhood, doesn't matter if you're at risk, and especially like LA zones or LA areas, and the contractor, the owner specifically requires, or city specifically requires us to hire from certain zip codes, right? So there is always that benefit. If you live in that zip code, you will be the top person to be hired. As long as you have the commitment, you have the potential, and you're willing to put the work in place. So, in order to join the trades, you should be physically able to perform the construction task. That's one of the minimum requirement, and obviously the driver's license and the working permits or whatnot. And the trade on the unions will take time to teach you the required skills and the tasks to become a skilled worker. And as going back to the project management side, so obviously you have a degree, but most of the people has a degree, and the degree will teach you how to write an email, how to read, and how to understand or adaptability to a different situation, right? But there are certain softwares that you can learn to improve and to have a better chance to get that job. So the first one the one of the day-to-day software that you use, Bluebeam, and the estimators use the OST, and there is Procore, there is Microsoft Office, which is the Outlook, Teams, and there will be some document controls like BIM 360. That's where we look into all the plans, and that's where we upload and distribute most of the documents nowadays, right? And don't worry, if you're just graduating, you don't need to have all the skills ready before you start your first job. But always remember, you should be willing to learn, put in the work that's required when you get the job. So, as long as you are committed to the industry or to your job, so there's so much potential that you can grow in your career, right? So, construction, yes, you will start slow, and there is There is so much of work that you need to put in place because in order to gain the experience, you have to spend so much time in the field, try to understand well, how the field or trade is building or installing some kind of work or whatever the activity or the trade it can be. But once you gain that exposure in the field, and you will excel 10 times faster in the office than well person without the field knowledge. And let's say I have a example. I'm in the field. I graduated my apprentice program, and now I'm a journeyman carpenter. So can I go to the office? Yes, you can. There is so many people I've seen personally who are in the field and that eventually move to the office after their apprentice program graduation. So the reason they always saw us working efficiently in the office and they wanted to perform effectively and they felt the project or the work that we do on a day-to-day basis is interested in them, so there is always opportunities. I've known many companies that they hire the craft talent and move it to the office, so there is definitely a chance. With that, that's all I have for today. To encourage support and for more content like this, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Until then, stay sharp, be safe, take care.